Hey y'all, welcome to the first episode of Side Trip Sundays.
Today we're going to take you along as we explore 3 fascinating hidden gems in our hometown of Houston that I'll bet a lot of Houstonians have never experienced.
We're also going to take you along to one of our all-time favorite restaurants in the city, so stick around.
Hey y'all, I'm Stacy.
I'm Tom, and we're RV Texas, y'all.
So what are Side Trip Sundays? Well, we believe the journey is the destination, and a big part of that journey are the side trips, those fun and interesting places that you find along the way that are unique to the areas that you're visiting. So whether it's your hometown, a bucket list destination, or just a stop along the way, it's the side trips that make the journey unforgettable. So come on and join us as we
RV Texas, y'all. Hey guys, today I'm really excited because we're going through the Printing Museum. This is in Houston, Texas. It's in the Montrose area of Houston, Texas, off West Clay. I had a printing business back in the 90s, so this place is near and dear to my heart. And today, Stacy and I, we get to see it for free because we got, some passes back in Dickens on the Strand back last December. And we're gonna cash those in today, take a free tour, and we're gonna bring you along. So let's go on in. We got our mask today. You gotta wear a mask now. So let's go on in. Okay, we're gonna start off here with Brian Hodge, is the director of the museum.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, Brian.
Well, thank you for coming.
And notice we got our mask on. We're still, if you come to the museum, like we said, you have to have your mask on right now. But Brian, when did the museum start?
Well, the museum officially opened its doors in early October 1982, so we're coming up on our 40th anniversary.
Wow, that's a big deal. Have you been in this location the whole time?
Yes, we've been here the whole time. We were in a start out small gallery with a few printing machines, and over time we acquired more printing presses and equipment and expanded to occupy most of the building.
Okay. Now another question I have is, and we're going to go through and show y'all a little bit of the museum, just enough to tickle y'all to get y'all to come in and see this hidden gem. But what is the oldest press that y'all have in here?
So I would think the oldest original press is from the early 1800s.
Wow.
The Columbian press, and that's where visitors can, when they go on a tour, they can print a copy of the Declaration of Independence. Now we have a replica Gutenberg press, which it's all made of wood, and on that they can print a leaf from the Bible, the Gutenberg Bible.
Wow, so that's when they take a tour,
Yes,
a
yeah.
guided tour?
Yeah, it would be a guided tour with one of our docents, but right now you kind of can't do it because, again, of the situation with the pandemic, but you can at least get to see it and see kind of how it would operate and all the various components.
So people can call ahead of time, though, to see if y'all have changed back to going back to...
Yes, they can always go to our website to see if we're doing tours. They can always call or email us.
What is the website?
It's printingmuseum.org.
Okay, I mean, well worth it. We're gonna take a spin through the tour, through the museum, and we really appreciate you letting us go through it.
Our pleasure.
I'd shake your hand, but I know we're in time.
Yes.
Here we go.
So this is the Columbian press that Brian mentioned, and it was invented in Philadelphia, makes sense, and I think it's at 1813. Very, very cool.
This is a reproduction of the Gutenberg press from 1452. Yeah, you heard that right. 1452. they were printing all the way back then. And, I mean, take a look at this thing. It is unbelievable. Wow, guys, now this is history right here. This is a linotype machine that was invented in 1885, and this is what started the daily newspapers right here, because you can see it's got a keyboard on there, and with that keyboard they didn't have to set each individual letter like they had to before. They used to have to put down every single letter, but then they could keystroke these and get a line of type so they wouldn't have to do it by hand. Therefore, they could do it a lot quicker and come out with newspapers.
How about a 1984 Apple Macintosh computer?
This is the first copier that was marketed from 1960. They call it the most successful commercial product in history. Yeah, history. It took 6 seconds per copy, but it just revolutionized everything. I mean, before you knew it, these things were in commercial businesses all over America. And, you know, this is why today, that when people talk about copiers and stuff, a lot of times they'll refer to it as a Xerox, because they started it.
I tell you what, guys, this is a super cool museum. When you're in Houston, you need to come over to West Clay and check out the printing museum. Very different stuff I've never seen before, stuff you're not going to find anywhere else. And it's not just about presses. There's printed materials, has a lot of history about how printing has impacted history, and how it's not only recorded history, but how it has created some history, which is really very interesting. Another little hidden area in Houston, if you're a Texas history buff, is Founders Cemetery. This is in the shadows of downtown Houston. It's been a memorial park since 1836, and it is the final resting place of people like John Kirby Allen, who was one of the Allen brothers who founded the city of Houston back in the 1830s. Another Allen brother is also buried here, as is the first sheriff of Harris County, and the mother of Mirabubi Lamar, and a lot of the soldiers and officers who fought at the Battle of San Jacinto for the forming of the Republic of Texas. It's a fascinating walk through this cemetery to see the history that's laid here since the 1830s. Now we're going to bring you in to one of our favorite places to eat in Houston. This is a Houston tradition. Niko Niko's been serving Greek food since 1977. Still family owned and operated, and still awesome. One of the things we love about Niko Niko's on Montrose is their patio. They have one of the best patios. So fun to sit out on a beautiful day.
Well, look at this. We both get the gyro.
Yep.
With these potatoes are incredible.
I've never figured out the secret on these potatoes, but they are awesome.
They are awesome, and their Greek salad is incredible. We're gonna get back with you after we eat all this food.
It might take us a while.
Might take us a while. Wow, that was incredible.
As always.
And-
Niko Niko's has been a favorite of ours for years.
And a quick tip, we came kind of in between lunch and dinner. If you come right around lunchtime, you're gonna...
Or dinner time.
Or dinner time, there's usually big crowds. I mean, some of the best Greek food I've ever had. I mean, it really is good. Get the gyro. I mean...
Oh, so good.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk about a hidden gem. We've been wanting to do this for a long time. We are at the Buffalo Bayou Park, home to the Buffalo Bayou Cistern. And it is an old water collection underground cistern for the city of Houston back in the day that is now somewhere you can visit, and they do art installations and things like that. They've also got beautiful walking trails here. We are right on the edge of downtown Houston, so we are excited to check it out. This is Thursday, and you have to make reservations to see the cistern, but it's free on Thursdays.
As you guys are coming in, I'm just going to go over some basic facts and features about the cistern. It was built in 1926 as a well-fed underground water reservoir. It was designed by waterworks engineer W.R. Hallway, who is actually quite famous during his time. One of his crowning achievements was that he was the chief engineer for the Pensacola Dam in Oklahoma. This cistern was built by the Standard Construction Company, which is actually still in business today, but it just goes by the family name Fretz Company. The project cost about $152,770, which is about $2.2 million today, and it only took 95 calendar days to build. Does anybody want to take a wild guess as to how many columns they think are in here? 250? That's pretty close. There's actually 221, and the interior columns stand at 25 feet tall. The project required over 800,000 pounds of reinforcement steel, and over half of that is in the roof alone. This beautiful roof is 10 inches thick, and the walls are tapered from 8 inches thick at the top to 18 inches thick at the bottom. There are 3 different grades of concrete used to make up the 5,900 cubic yards of concrete you see, and they were all mixed right here on site. The builders used what is known as board form to make the walls and the ceilings. So essentially they would pour the concrete into these wooden forms. Once the concrete was set, they would peel away the wood, leaving the structure. And if you look at the ceiling here, you can actually still see some of the linear marks and the wood grain in the ceiling there, which is pretty neat. All right, we've come to our first site feature here. It's this beautiful ladder and entryway. This is one of the original entryways. There are 4 of them, one located on each wall. If anyone needed to come down in here, they would have had to unlock the hatch from the outside, climb down this ladder, and then slide to the stairway below. The walkway you're on right now did not exist back then, so it could be quite dangerous getting down in here. If you notice, we do have a little bit of water in here. We always keep about 6 to 8 inches of water in here at all times. Because this is a marine-based concrete, we don't actually know what would happen if it were to completely dry out. And because this is such an old structure, we don't want to take that risk. We always keep a little bit of water in here. So at this point in the tour, I'd like to give a little sound demonstration. I'm sure you can, while we've been walking around, you can hear what an amazing echo we have. So we're going to do one together, but before we do something together, I'm actually going to sing a little bit for you guys so you can hear what that sounds like in a space like this. So I'll go ahead and do that for you guys.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So now we're going to do something together. It's my favorite part of the tour. You guys are going to sing in 4-part harmony. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. You don't have to sing. Everyone starts sweating a little bit. What you guys actually get to do is you're going to yell as loud as you can into the cistern. Get all your frustrations out from this week. I do have a couple of rules before we get started. Please keep your mask on while you're screaming. The second thing is I'm going to be shining my flashlight at the ceiling and count down to 1. When I hit 1, yell as loud as you can. When my flashlight hits the floor, stop yelling, and we're just gonna listen to see how long that sound can go on for. So I know we're a little bit of a smaller group, but I have faith in us. I feel like we're really gonna shake the walls on this one, so give it all you got in 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. I think we should do it one more time, just for fun, because when do you get to do something like this? All right, let's do it one more time. Give it all you got. Make it count in 3, 2, 1. So normally, that sound can go on anywhere from 17 to 20 seconds, depending on how many cups of coffee you've had this morning. There's a good laugh. I usually get a pity laugh on that one, but I felt like that was pretty genuine. So if you remember from earlier, I said these columns are 25 feet tall. They did not magically grow while we were walking around. What you're looking at is basically a mirror reflection. What looks like the lower floor is actually a reflection of the ceiling. And there's only about 6 inches of water in there today.
So the Buffalo Bayou Park Cistern. Wow.
That was incredible.
Not only is this a hidden gem in Houston, but this is a must-see when you come to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope the video does it some justice, but you've got to really come see this to experience the whole thing, the sounds, the sights,
The
story. I mean, it's pretty incredible. And you know, this is relatively new as far as a thing to be able to tour.
Right.
And they said it's the only one you can tour in the United States.
Amazing.
It's like this. I mean, it really, really is amazing. They even have some events here sometimes.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm looking forward to coming back to an event here one day.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
So Buffalo Bayou Park is on Buffalo Bayou.
Yeah.
And Houston is known as the Bayou City because of the bayous that run through Buffalo Bayou, Brays Bayou, White Oak Bayou. There's several.
Yeah.
Big part of the flood control, but Buffalo Bayou is special because it is part of the founding of the city of Houston. The Allen brothers landed here just up the bayou from where we stand today on the edge of downtown to launch the city of Houston.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this first installment of our Sunday side trip videos, and you know, we're excited to bring a bunch more of these to you, because it doesn't matter where you're at, whether you're in a big city, we're finding things here in Houston that we didn't even know existed, you know, or in these small towns. These side trips are what make the journey exciting.
Absolutely. So we'd love to hear about your favorites. Leave us a comment so we can add them to our list to visit. And until next time, we'll see you on Wednesday. Safe travels.
And happy camping.
Bye.
Bye.